Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we have a lot to cover as usual, and of course it's in regards to Sarah Boone and her letter that she wrote to the judge. Again, it's important for me to point out that this is not news. This is news to me as I have invested a lot of time into this story, and unfortunately I was not able to follow through during the trial when this happened last year. So please bear with me, follow along in my operating flow, get my point of view, my side of things, the way I understand things, and you know, let's get to it. It's important though that before we start, consider dropping me a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and if you want to do more, you have options in the description below. Furthermore, if you are new here, I'm Alistair Ezekiel. This is just my point of view. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a simpleton with a pen and paper and an opinion. Let's get started. Thank you. Okay, so right off the bat, I have to point out that it is super long. It's over 30 pages, 28 pages. It's over 25 pages long, so I'm going to be here for a long time. The second thing is that I noticed is that the handwriting is chicken scratch. So she is writing this with emotion to fingers. And that's going to be very good for us. All right, let's get started. Mr. Michael Krenik, I am enclosing, please, my complete statement to you and the world as I partially read during my sentencing hearing. Okay, so this is what she read to us during the sentencing hearing, which I made the last video on. Perfect. So I might not be here for as long as I thought. Perfect. Very good. Anyway, by my reserving particular parts of my very true and meaningful statements, I was hoping to have been graced with your forgiveness, understanding and consideration at any level or degree. For me, unfortunately, and regardless of when I had speak on my behalf, or the number of your ignorant mind was already made up. Okay, so the first paragraph, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm reading like a 2nd grader, is because her handwriting is terrible. So apologies about that. First of all, the first paragraph tells me that everything else is irrelevant. Because this first paragraph, this is obviously edited from what she read during her sentencing statement, and it states that she said what she said in hopes that it would influence his decision. And because his decision was not influenced or changed, she called him ignorant. Wow. You know, you see, you're not even that smart. If you wanted to sway someone's opinion, this is not how you do it. Kids, stay in school. Stay in school because there is a way to do it. This is just not it. By your clear error, she highlights clear, and full-blown unfair bias, highlighted bias, against me since your involvement in my crucible case as a whole, I have been unsuccessful in receiving anything from you as a supposed fair and neutral judge, except for your wish that I spend the rest of my life in prison. I'm affecting you how she's writing because the handwriting is terrible and she's putting emotion to fingers. Because this the underlining that she's doing, it's purpose. Please know and always remember, Mr. Krenik, I forgive you. Highlighted. Still and sincerely, please understand. Also, the judge, according to Cicero, is never to lose sight that he is simply a man and that he cannot exceed the power given to him by his commission. That not only power, but public confidence has been given to him. That he ought to always very seriously to attend not to his wishes, but to the requisition of the law of justice and religion. See pro Clementis. I am excited in my appeal. She's appealing, which speaks for itself. My case law has as well, in which I am extremely proud to have achieved and will continue doing so now that I am no longer in your corrupt court. and free from your malevolent judicial grip. Sarah Boone versus the state of Florida. Okay, so already this first little segment is quite interesting to me. So first of all, she is challenging the education of the judge. She's challenging the legalities of his judgmentship, and which I found to be quite fascinating, because even the person even the smartest person in the world wouldn't do that without going through a mouth of a lawyer. I don't know the law as well as a judge. I barely know the law as well as a lawyer. Aren't judges supposed to know the law better than lawyers? I mean, it's fascinating to me that in her mind, she knows more than the lawyer and the judges combined. And you and me, and your mom and my mom, and your parents. Yeah, it's quite fascinating to me that in her mind, it's like a gotcha, I win. Fascinating. And so, which tells me, actually, I'm going to rephrase what I said initially. This emotion of mind to finger, pen to paper, is actually an emotion, not of frustration, an emotion of arrogance. I mean, we knew that already, we knew that from the past letters, but you would have think this would be different since this is after the sentencing. This is an arrogant emotion. She's trying to, again, portray this image of I'm smarter than you. You think you won, but I actually won. Wow. All right. Unbelievable. Calling the judge corrupt. Really? I mean, not for nothing. They are definitely corrupt, judge. I mean, we can name a few. Hi. We can name quite a few. But mere mortals like me, you, and our mamas combined are not qualified to really bring that to the eyes of the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So she continues. Sarah Boone versus the state of Florida. I also have added to my statement as a result of your blindness and impartiality. Foremost, you discuss in me as being an outspoken woman, determined defendant, and proactive client. Hoping the next time you put on your listening ears and do not unfairly oppress the next as you have so blatantly done to me. You will never admit your many judicial errors, nor will the prosecutors theirs, and I will never admit to what you have wrongfully accused me of and judged me as. I am not a murderer. I am a survivor. All right, so she's insinuating misogyny. That's quite an accusation there. I'm just saying, right? So had you been someone more famous, I would have sued you for defamation, 100%. Oh, yeah, it's hard to prove. Not really, depending on how popular and your notoriety is, how much money you got in the bank. This right there, Miss Thing, if you were, I don't know, like Bill's Gate or something, I'm suing. Yeah. Are you famous enough to defame me? You insinuating misogyny and unfair treatment. What are you talking about? Quite unbelievable. And I'm not a murderer, I'm a survivor. No, lady, you are a murderer. Mais non, ma chérie, t'es une meurtrière. That's what you are. Oh la la. She signed Sarah Boone. Unbelievable. You know what's also interesting here is like she really equates to outspoken woman, determined defendant, and proactive client. Like as if the fact that she's connecting the dot that a concerned defendant for their case is unusual. Of course it's not unusual. If you were arrested, clink, for, I don't know, murder, wouldn't you be concerned about your case? So again, it's just kids, stay in school. This world is not meant for idiots. Contrary to what you might think, most of the world is not meant for idiots. Okay? I'm just saying. Anyway, so she continues with black robe disease. Black robe disease. Okay, black robe. All right. I don't know what that is. Is that a real thing? I'm assuming she's referring to the judge. Yeah. So she's not done with the judge. She's talking crap about him. So black robe disease equals arrogance in a judge. Oh, there it is. A slang term for a judge who flaunts judicial power and dominates proceeding at the expense of the dispensation of justice. You know what's so interesting about this? Judge Koenig didn't say anything. Have you seen Judge Koenig the entire trial? Not only did he not say anything, his mouth thing were like, there wasn't even a grimace. There wasn't even like a, there was none of that. He didn't even yawn. Oh my God, I was watching. He just sat there like this. He didn't yawn. He didn't blink. And I was like, all right, Dad, all right. That's why I called him Dad. He was literally a stone. So I don't know where you're getting this impartial this stuff and this flaunting of anything. He didn't say a word. Girl, have several seats. And she continues. Impartiality is the first duty of a judge. Oh, here we go. Behave before he gives an opinion or sits in judgment, in cause, in thought. He ought to be certain and absolute that he has no bias for or against either of the parties. If he has any interest, even the slightest in the cause, he is disqualified from sitting as a judge. And when aware of such interests, ought to lawfully and justifully refuse to sit on the case. The delicacy, I can't read her handwriting, I'm sure it's not delicacy, which characterizes the judges, delicacy, in this country, generally forbids their sitting in such cause. Really, you don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, wait, she's in prison, she can't watch the news. Well, let me tell you something, young lady. The delicacy which characterizes the judges in this country are really wrong, because you follow the news a little bit. This last part, just turn on the TV, blink a few times, and I guess they don't have to follow that. So, moot. And if you go up a little bit, talking about bias for and against either of the parties. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can't say stuff like that without some sort of proof. Just because you don't like the way my face sit. Right? Or maybe, what if I was born like this? What if that was my face? Good morning, Judge Alistair. Good morning. Like, what if that was my face? You can't just make a statement like this that because I have a smiley face that I like the prosecution. I was born with open mouth teeth disease, right? Stupid. Yeah. But no, it's this insecurity. She is being sent home with the public opinion solidify into concreteness. She continues, the judge must not only be impartial, but also follow and properly enhance the law, not abuse it. He's bound to declare what law is and not make it be an arbitrator, an interpreter of the law. It is their duty to be patient in the investment gradient of the case, understand circumstances and difficulties by all parties. Oh my God, careful in considering parts of a case in whole and decent in judgment. Bouvier Law Dictionary, 2012 édition. Écoute, ma chérie. All right, let me be very clear here with you, Madame Sarah Boone. First of all, if you're going to accuse a judge of something in regards to his legality, it's very important that you do it through a lawyer. Parce que tout ce que tu dis là, everything you just said, c'est de la merde. Alors, je sais pas. In other words, it's all baloney. Girl, if you want to make an impact, you get a lawyer to write something like that for you. Your mind. What is this? Even citing law book editions. Girl, where is your bar exam? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not even a lawyer nor a judge. I'm not even qualified to even make any sort of statement like this, but I can tell you by reading this, it's baloney. Judge must not only be impartial, just because he said no to her, you see? Yeah. Okay, so is this next page going to be just her telling us about how she believes the law should be interpreted? Because if that's the case, darling, I'm going to skip through this because I'm not going to waste my time for that. Look at, and then there's the worst judicial law. Okay, so that's what she does. All right, so listen to me carefully. We're going to go to the next segment. I'm going to curate this mess. We're going to move on to the next segment. She's crazy. Anyway, but now look. So she brings up that whole Kushu Shikiroi technique with the whole crack and the gold. Honey, now this is where it gets interesting because Miss Boone got something to say to everybody. Here we go. My gold also runs deep for my prior attorneys. I can't with those cracks of Haruju Kishiroi. Mauricio Padilla, who sold me the world with empty promises, hi Padilla, then abandoned his responsibilities as the attorney after taking 2.5 years of my life when finally realizing he was in over his head. All while hoarding GAC dollars to fund his staycations with his family when in town from Miami, for having resources ready and available, not allowing me, the client, to ever utilize, which could have greatly progressed my case and perhaps concluded, only for him to decide water parks, fine dining, choice of hotels were more important on the GAC dime. First of all, let me tell you something right now. If you don't know how lawyering works, don't do the crime. Don't do the crime. Let me explain to you. First of all, if you're looking for a private lawyer, there's a process to this. You don't just go on Google and get a lawyer. All right? So, tip from Alistair. You're welcome. This is what you do. You go on to Google. I just said that, but yeah, you gotta have a starting point. So you go on Google and look for a lawyer. But stop laughing. Listen. But you look at the history of the firm or the lawyer in question. Ask the lawyer, what cases have you done that's similar to mine? Ask. Which cases have you done that's similar to mine? Show me the case. Send me the case. Did you win it? Did you lose it? Why? Send it to me. Because you might think a lawyer oh yeah, come here for a consultation. You think he's just the lawyer loves you and likes you. No, the consultation is the lawyer looking for your dime to pay his bills. That consultation is like 15 minutes at most. No, you go to that consultation with a scene of questions because you're not going there to buy groceries and the banana. You're going there to defend your case because you might go to jail. So if you think you're like, oh, free consultation, I'm just going to go there and sit down and he's just going to solve my problems, you're an idiot. You're a complete idiot. That's not how it works. All right? A consultation is not because they like you. It's not because they want you. It's not because they're your friends, because they need to pay their bills. Period. So when you go in there in that consultation, you take your pen and paper and your brain. Okay? You take your brain and you strategize how to maximize those 15 minutes. Don't think they're going to be there for a whole hour to give you legal counsel. Out of your mind. No, that's not what it's for. It's to bamboozle you to give me the retainer because lawyering is a business, right? Nobody works for free. Get that out of your mind and your life will be so different. Okay? So this little harlot thought that she was just going to get a private lawyer to be like, yeah, darling, yeah, I'll do it pro bono. Yeah. No. That's not how life works. Kids stay in freaking school if there's still a department left. Oh! No, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. No. So this is how you look for a lawyer. You go on the Googler, you get your questions ready, and you focus primarily on your case. And if you happen to be in a situation where you have already like the serving papers, like serve, you go in there with your serving paper and your thing. You go in there and you give the serving paper to the whatever and be like, okay, here, I went through it. What does this line mean? What does this line mean? What about this? What about this? Here's my, you got to go direct to stuff. And then if you feel like this is the lawyer for you because interaction is very important, kind of, sort of. But look at what cases what did you win? What did you win? Right? Because her defense lawyer, because he did it pro bono, and this is why I say he's a complete idiot. Because if you come in contact with someone like me looking for a lawyer, honey, I see Sarah Boone, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell is this? Did you really think you could defend this mess? Oh no, honey, thanks. I'll go to the competition. Goodbye. Yeah. Oh. I'm having a bad day today. I'll tell you all about it in the Let's Talk. Listen. Day is going terrible, but it's okay. It's okay. It's life. You don't get good days all the time, right? Anyway, let's continue to this stupidity. So could I be, okay? So Padilla, and then she also about Padilla wanting to have the good life, wanting to have JAC dollars to fund his staycations, vacations, restaurant and fine dining. So it's my money. You don't dictate how I use my money. It's my finances. You want to be a financial advisor? Apply for one. Get in line. If I'm Mr. Padilla, I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. I don't get into a lawyer business to not do lawyer things. I'm a lawyer. Okay? So, yes, I want a 5-star hotel. I need 500 thread of Egyptian cotton because I got to stay up all night and do your mess. Pay it. So her trying to dictate how he uses his money and funds is none of your situation. First of all, it's not your money. It's our money. We get to say what JAC dollars do to the lawyer, not you. So have several seats and suck on the lemon. Next. Who is she complaining about? Mr. Bankwitz? She better not come from Mr. Bankwitz. Oh, she does. All right. So next victim, I forgive Frank J. Bankwitz for committing perjury to the judge and on court record about my attempts to be proactive defendant and client, inquiring about my discovery, then trying to communicate with no answer or correspondence in any manner for a full year and 2 months before I was able to finally meet with him in a courtroom, only to receive his motion to withdraw. Mr. Bankwitz is like, oh, hi. I know you've been trying to get in touch with me, right? No, it's okay. It's okay. By the way, here. Bye. Love it. Love it. Frank J. Bankwitz. Frank J. Bankwitz is forgiven for his greed in taking $15,000 from my JAC, who honorably aid indigent defendant as myself for taking advantage of and robbing the justice system by lying and avoiding clients taking their money and the JAC. Okay. To be indigent, let me be very clear, because I could be wrong. Maybe it's different per state. Maybe it's different per state. From my understanding, to be considered indigent, you really have to be like low-key homeless. Because if you own anything under your name and you have a criminal situation, you either get a lawyer or you don't. They don't just give you a lawyer. Like, to be given a public defender, you got to have nothing under your name, from my understanding. Because even if you own like a car, a little house, a little something, they're going to make you sell that stuff. So they're pretty Scrooge in terms of giving the public defenders people to decide people that cannot defend themselves. They're pretty strict about that because it's tax dollars. They have to be very, very strict about the conditions that allow you to access taxpayer funds to defend yourself criminally. So, ma'am, you sitting in your cell. All you do is look at the JAC bank account. Because in your mind, you believe that these lawyers were born to this earth to defend you and you alone. You believe that they don't deserve the integrity of, like, if I have to open my eyeballs, get in my car and drive to the court for you, Sarah Boone, I don't do that for free. So she believes that this is supposed to be pro bono work. I am the queen, Sarah Boone. I have risen. Where is my lawyer? Down the hall. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, what a great sound. Okay, when is breakfast? Oh, thank you. Queen? Queen? Are you serious? Mr. Bankwitz's biggest issue with Sarah Boone was that she was insulting him. Insulting him. Not just like, you know, like, you're annoying, like you piece of crap. You're full of poop, full of baloney. You're a liar. Insulting him. And his integrity. What? And then she goes, I've been trying to get in touch with him, and he's not picking up the phone. What? To the point she was so meticulous about it that we started to be mad at Mr. Bankwitz. Do you remember? And that's when he was like, oh no, honey, I'm a lawyer. I don't do all this to be put down by a criminal like yourself. I quit. Yeah. It got to the point where we started to look at Mr. Bankwitz sideways. Because we didn't understand. We didn't understand. We didn't understand. We didn't understand. No, Sarah Boone, I get you when I get to you. I'm a lawyer. I know how this works, okay? I know how this works. You can have several seats and wait. Like, the law doesn't move at your rhythm, queen. Oh, honey. So, who's next? Winston? Oh, hey, Winston, hey. Winston Hobson receives my forgiveness. She just giving forgiveness like Oprah's cars. Who also unethically perjured himself to the judge and the court record about all the progress and attorney work he did in my case for the 2 months he was court appointed as for his allegation of my supposed unethical request, which meant what? Which meant he asking about my discovery and trying to have him file a motion of what? Of my lawful inclusion, what? To my pre-trial conference cited under F... blah, 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 blah. Her handwriting gets really worse here. She must really not like Hobson. What do you do, Hobson? I want to be included in my case and know the progress from being excluded by Bankwitz and Padilla over 3 years prior. Forgiveness also in telling me he would return in a week. Oh, that's why she's mad at him. With my discovery, only to receive his notice to withdraw. That's why she's mad at him. No, bitch. That's why she's mad at you, Hobson. Hold on. In the meantime, still not receiving my discovery and filing my own motion, enabling me to go to all my hearings, including my pre-trials. Continue forgiveness in his greed and selfish, of course, greed, because he got paid, and selfish intention also for robbing the JAC and engine defendants of $15,000, none for nothing, justifying any work he really did do in a handful of days. He represented me as his man attorney. She's mad at Hobson, because you know what Hobson did? Hobson was like, oh, all right, thanks, Frank. Frank was like, dude, I'm out. Listen, I gotta go to court, so I see you later. All right, see you for lunch. All right, tell me if you need anything. All right, okay, bye, Frank. Bye, Hobson, good luck. So Hobson is like, hi, hello, I'm Mr. Hobson, nice to meet you. And she was already bitter. She goes, hi, have a seat. Okay, ma'am. Okay, so what can I do for you? And she was like, I want this, I want this, I want this. Look, no, this is exactly how it happened, allegedly. So Hobson goes, yeah, oh, really? In the back of his mind, Hobson was like, no, bitch, I'm out. But Hobson, it's probably what I would have done, is pretend in front of your face, but behind my butt, I'm planning my exit. So he was like, yep, I get you all filed for you. Yep, I get it all done. Yep. And as soon as he leaves, he comes back with, he's upset. So he's like, okay, got it. All right, I got it. I got it. I got it. And he comes back. I quit. I can't. Hobson was a savage. You see, Hobson was two-faced, conniving. Love it. Yeah, because he was professional about it. I don't owe you anything. I don't have to explain myself to you. And I'm autonomous organism. Autonomous. I'm an autonomous organism. I do what I want. Period. I don't have to do anything. I'm a lawyer. I'm a free man, for God's sake. If I want to be fake in front of you, criminal, I can. I can. And he brought me back home. The wife was like, who is this? Sarah Boone. Oh, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I quit. That's why she's mad at him. He made her believe that he was into her, only to find out he's just escaped. So, who's next? Oh my God, this is actually quite entertaining. Come on, who's next? Where am I? I lost myself. Hey, of course, you know, they all need to get paid. Stop with that. Pro bono. Yeah, okay. Oh! Patricia Cashman. Patricia. Honey. Finally, and with all my gold, the stupid cracks, received from this one, I forgive Patricia A. Cashman for her mean, snotty, egotistical attitude and not listening or caring that I finally received my discovery I kept asking her, for which she fully withheld from me, citing her ridiculous untrue reasons was because I saw with my first attorney 4 years prior. And while she, being my present, at that time, attorney, I saw no one, page off, or any digital evidence of my discovery she prohibited me for seeing. I love it. I remember Patricia Cashman, that's the blonde lawyer, right? She just spent like one day. She was like, she opened the door, she says, no. So Padilla was like, if I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to get paid. Bankwitz was like, all right, Sarah, I like you so much. All right, fine, I do my best. And then she abused him. And he was like, oh, I'm out. Cashman, Hobson was like, oh, yeah, I got it. And never came back. But Patricia just opened the door and she was like, nope, I'm not doing this. Patricia, you better work, bitch. I love it. And that Patricia Cashman is also forgiven for admitting I had the right to a bond I asked her for, so I could actually utilize one of my rights as opposed to having them always violated as prior and still ongoing from her deterrence of all my opportunities to do so. For all her lies, condescending, cross unnecessary arguments and anger that I asked, you see, any questions and wanted to understand. Yeah, I got it. For her doing nothing other than give me an even harder time and request transcript than brazenly lie for over $16,000. So Cashman was like, no, I don't take 15, darling. I'm worth $16,000. Love it. I forgive Patricia Cashman for being a liar and a bully. I mean, Patricia, you go, girl. You spent the least amount of time. I got $1,000 more. Yeah. People get mad for people being money hungry. Excuse me. Did you see what happened recently about that egg? Like, there was an egg heist. No, you heard me right. Egg heist. No. You heard me right. EGG space HEIST. Heist. Egg heist. Someone went and you stole eggs. Hey, egg criminals, you went and actually stole eggs? So, two things I have to ask you. Did any of them break? Stop! Did you take the chicken too? I can't. And also in the US, eggs is not pasteurized. You only have a certain amount of days to sell that stuff. $40,000 worth of eggs. Are you serious? Who are you going to sell it to? Do you know how a supply chain works here? Because you're going to go what? Door to door and sell eggs? Ding dong. Hello. Do you want to buy some eggs? First of all, I'd be like, poison. No thanks. Bye. What? make someone wakes up in the morning. I'm going to take $40,000 in eggs. I can't. This is, you say, I'm telling you, look, this is the beauty of being a due citizen. I have options. I can just like, oh my God, au revoir. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Burn it all. You only know what you got when you don't have it no more. Burn it all. Goodbye. Ridiculous. Where am I in this story? Okay. So, eggs. Eggs. It's okay. That will learn you. You'll learn a lesson. And if you don't, not my problem. I'm good. Anyway, forgiveness for all those who did not include me to receive my 50... Did she just ask for... Forgiveness for all those who did not include me to receive my $15,000 share. I worked for when Judge Koenig forced me to be my own attorney to represent myself pro se. I actually and finally got my own discovery almost 5 years later. Filed motions, all prior should have done, making them the most expensive motion ever. At a rate of $46,000 between the three prior attorneys, Frank J. Bankwitz, Walter Hib Hobson, Patricia Cashman, that's right. Would they have done so when supposedly reporting me? The motions would have been priceless for the proper use of the GAC funds. I can't. To reward this professionalism, honesty, and freedom, I only need to... Can't take this seriously. I honorably utilize my JAC resources and mentorship as a proactive indigent defendant, avidly defending myself against the liars, thieves, and real villains in my criminal case. Who really is the criminal? The JAC can hopefully include their forgiveness for them also. What? So she forgives the JAC as well. All right. I can't. So she's asking, no. Let me explain to you what she did. She just said, look, she said, I didn't even try. I should have been paid $15,000. Matter of fact, because I got all my paper that I asked within like this, and I'd be asking for 5 years. So really, the value is $46,000. Honey, she's asking for $46,000. Do you see this mess? And we are jurors being paid peanuts. And look, we pay over $400,000 for this criminal, and then she's asking for $50,000 or tax dollars for what? For what? You know, it's stuff like that. Listen, tangent. It's stuff like that that makes unreasonable people have leverage. Because that's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. You know, it's not reasonable. Like, you're not supposed to please everybody, but you can't be unreasonable. And again, there's no excuse for bad behavior. So everything, that's why I said burn it all down and start over, because this is not working. Just do it when I leave in 15 years. Do it when I leave, okay? Okay, just burn it all down, but not when I'm here, all right? Because this is the mess. I can't believe she put that there. With such confidence. JAC. JAC saved some money. All right, let's continue. So, this is to Judge Wooten and Koenig. I have great forgiveness for also in not protecting me in listening to my valid requests. Oh my God. For judicial intervention, I could properly and fairly defend myself against my charges. We're friends. Please, never burped before. First time, me neither. Instead, I had to defend myself against the attorneys, all appointed by the judge and court against their lies and exaggeration, reason and justifiable, blah, 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 blah. You can read it. Look, so what? She blames the judges for appointing the attorneys to her. Oh, I gotta love it. You have to love stuff. You have to love shit like that, right? Judge Koenig, I forgive you for not giving me any opportunity to stand at your pulpit. No, you're not worthy to stand at all to explain the real truthful side of the story. I believe in the justice system, including yourself, would and should have done any ritual homework. What am I doing? My brain is trying to turn me off of it, but I'm trying to say to it, no, stay. How? Oh my God, stay. Don't get distracted, Alistair. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. Sampling, sending an employee to care about their present workload. Number of client. Okay, break. Break. Because I'm losing the battle between my mind, between my automaticness, and what I want to do. So I'm going to take a little breather, gather myself in my head, and resume. So, in the meantime, if you got to this point, press like, subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It really helps spread the good news of my laughter and Sarah Boone to the rest of the world and the other eyeballs. And the egg heist. Horrible day today. The reason why I have a horrible day, now look, my personality, I don't complain. I do not complain. I don't have it in me. I don't, it's just not part of my DNA. If you do find me complaining, maybe 1 time, 2 times, and then I'm done complaining. I'm a person of action. Yes. Yeah. And I get annoyed very easily. Certain things that can take me really over the edge, and I'm also not forgiving. Oh, look at me, all my red flags. Please, you're full of green flags? Okay, great. So I'm only saying that. 1 second. No, I'm only saying that because, if you don't put a hard line, if people think they can get away with stuff, they will. Even if they're your best friend. That's just human nature. Human nature is to always try to take a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's why the line needs to be super clear. Enemy and foes and friends alike. Everybody needs to know that I'm good until I'm not. And so the warning sign is not just for the enemies, it's for the allies as well, right? And and so when someone crosses that line, you can't let it go because they'll do it again. You have to strike and strike hard. That's all. All right, I'm ready to get back into the fray. So she continues. Numbers of clients, trial schedules already in place before throwing another inmate defendant, unknowingly client on the heaping. Heaping! Ah! What, did they burn? An unimportant pile of warm bodies. I guess they just decomposed. Yes. More taxpayer dollars. Look at her being so concerned about tax dollars. Could be conserved and less time consumed and work for everybody regardless of what part they play in the supposed system of justice. My forgiveness is deepened for taking even greater time of 9 away years, but not caring for ask anything about anything to understand, so you could justifully render your life, defting judgment, and withdraw anyone bias and prejudice. I don't know what she said. If you're smarter than me by this point. Yeah, so what? She's complaining about what? I don't understand the complaint here. All right. How much do I have? Oh, my Lord. So, former George Krenek, I forgive you for kicking me when I was down. You know what? You didn't kick hard enough. It should have been life time 5. And choking. Oh, not choking. Choking the life out of me on my constitutional amendments. Oh. Wake up. Most profoundly 6 right to counsel. Oh, whatever. As a result of what? Of my wholehearted use of my first right to freedom of speech in being my own advocate, since no one else would be, and receive a paycheck for. Oh, okay. Her handwriting is getting worse. I think she's getting tired. I lost. Where am I? Okay. In all of my free speech experience driven letters only for remedy in any collaboration, inclusion, receiving in discovery as an inmate, defendant, and client, no, not renewal, and any attorney to cause. I have to distract you because you're probably like, stop reading, but like delays or any reasons or excuse you may try to force on me and have already inappropriately accused me of doing prior of your heavily insinuating what? Guiltiness? Strategies of mine to try and deflect the glowing red flags, disappointments, and true crime in and of the justice system. That was poorly written. I couldn't read this unless I had to like go word per word, like a second grader, and and then you sit there listening to me struggling to talk. So I have to maybe strip. Strip. No, I would not strip. I dance for you. It's strip. Let me tell you something more fun than this. So, okay, so in my growing up years in New York City, you know, no secret, I've told this to people who've been in each other for a while, and the new guys, you might be new to you, but, you know, I have friends in the sex industry, absolutely. And, you know, because I ask a lot of questions, I think I hurt myself. I ask a ton of questions. And one of the questions I asked one of my friends is like, okay, how does it really work? Like, honestly, like, really? What do you mean you get paid to just sit there and do the do? Like, what happens the next day? What happens tomorrow? I was asking very questions because you don't know. So, so first it depends, and not everything requires the super adult fun time. A lot of his clients, I can't. You're gonna gag. A lot of his clients just want a company. I said, wait a minute. So you're being paid, some of them are paying $15,000 for a weekend. $15,000 for a weekend to do what? To hang out with me? Oh my God, yes, set me up. Okay, it was like I said, no, you're full of baloney. You're full of baloney. You have to suck a lemon. You have to twirl on the pole a little bit. There is no way they're giving this money just for you to watch TV and watch, I don't know, soap opera. Absolutely no way. He's like, yeah. Most, like, of course you have those who wants to suck a lemon and twirl on a pole. But he said a lot of his clients just want to spend a weekend together. And I was like, and this is back in the years 2000 and I don't know, when did I graduate? 2009. So 2006, 5, whatever. Before 09 has that. And so I was like, there is no way that I'm paying $15,000 cash for you to sit down on my couch and watch a movie. And in your mind, yeah, no, people did that. And like, imagine the loneliness of people back then. And you know, it's only gotten worse. And every time I joke like, oh, I'm in the wrong business. I should have done that. I wish I was more of a, I wish I wasn't as scared. not the other word, because I was that, just controlled. I wish I was more, less skittish. I'm just too afraid. I'm too afraid of everything. And, yeah. 15,000 to watch a movie. What are we doing wrong? See me here going to school, graduate, struggle, make something out of myself. You just sit there and watch a movie for 15,000. Yeah. All right, I'm close to my recording time. Okay, do you read this, Alistair, or do you curate? All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to curate this with my professional eyeballs. I'm going to show you how it's done, all right? Okay, this is how it's done. I'm just going to... Okay, you ready? And go. To this day, all forward, do not fulfill my rights and Denver. Okay, got it. So this first part of this paragraph, she's pretty much saying, you know, she does not fulfill the right to do her right of like being oppressed, the right of constitution. She spent a whole bunch of paragraphs talking about nonsense. However, she says the reason is because she still found herself to be a proud citizen of the United States of America and freely and decidedly using my God-given rights to still try and defend myself, to stand up all the way up for you to remove my freedom altogether. So essentially, it's a whole page to tell me that she refuses to surrender to the verdict of the judge. Perfect. Next page. Got it. This next first paragraph, she's accusing Detective Kipsell or Lowen. I'm assuming it's the first detective when they, remember the lady that was coughing, right? When they arrested her and she was like, what's going on? What's happening? And they saw the video, all that stuff. She's accusing them of creating a story around this arrest. Like, lady, stop texting while I'm here. Because they're like, why are you texting? Why are you texting? And then she's like, well, that's not what happened. That's not my story. So she's accusing them of creating this narrative based on, I guess, what the detective saw. A dead body in a suitcase in your house. Duh. Right? All right, let's continue. Okay, that's easy to get. So then in the next paragraph, she accuses them of taking this story and feeding it to the media. Pretty much saying, you know, like, you defame me. You defame me. What? Of what? She ties this up to greed and being unlawful broadcasting. Oh my God. What a loony woman. Right? Anyway, so next page, she continues. Oh, she's the thing with the gold and the gold and those cracks. Get away with that. Okay, let me just ignore the golden and cracks. Continue, Alistair. Continue. Okay. Okay. All right. Never mind. This is completely stupidity. So pretty much she's saying that during the investigation, because she was like, when they took me away, you know, I forgive everybody for not, you know, doing their job correctly. Because apparently during the investigation, how come the defense didn't take her bloody pillow, her butcher knife, her garden prongs? How come you missed all that? What? I don't understand. I don't understand. So essentially she's saying, this is the crime scene, right? Why you only got the suitcase and the body? Why didn't you get everything that had blood on it? I have no idea, Sarah. This is why you get a lawyer, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, and then she continues, oh, well, it whatever, no difference, all is forgiven. Okay, she says whatever to all of that. Okay, fine, whatever. Oh, she continues. Okay, now she's addressing the prosecution itself, Mr. J and Mr. Cacciatore. All right, so let's see what she says about them. Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. So she forgives them for two important things here, from what I can understand. The first one is she forgives them, again, for having having an assumption that she's a terrible person. Why? Because she connects the dot to, you spent all this time curating the videos, the text messages, and all that stuff, and you, in all of that, you didn't see my plight, so therefore you're biased. Because if you really did curate, like you show that you did, you would have seen my situation. So all of that is just theatrics. You're fake. You're a-holes for deliberately not including the real story. All right, so she calls them ignorant. Like a pieced together production. I forgive you most for never seeing the light in people. Oh, who is that for? Oh, got it. Okay. So which one is that? Is that Mr. Cacciatore or Mr. J? I think it's Mr. J. So Mr. J in particular, because she's not very specific here. She forgives him. She forgives Mr. J in particular for finger pointing, yelling, and tense undermining to force your theatrics and fantasies onto the jury by using imaginary space adventures and fictional characters to blind and bedazzle them when you're far, far away from the truth dramatization. She's talking about Star Wars. Star Wars? Please, I felt like Star Wars didn't land. Because I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm like, what are you talking about, sir? Only because I have my brain on when I'm listening. So I was able to catch it. But if someone who's like casually watching and eating a bonbon and whatnot without taking notes, he'd be like, what's up with the Star Wars? It was quite distracting because he went really long with the Star Wars. But that's besides the point. You know what I mean? And then she goes, is this the slide page? Oh no, oh la la, Alistair. Allez. So she sees the good that does not exist in all of us, that does exist in all of us inherently and unforced, even as the proud her, J, stated, the, kick, dot. Who cares? Those quotes that she points out, where do you get the time to get those quotes out? Is there like a library in jail? What is going on over there in jail? So we have to, okay, hold on one second. How is she getting all these quotes? Because this is clean enough from her brain. So you mean to tell me that we give them food, water? Yeah, we have to give them that. Now, we don't need to give them comfortable beds. Just put some straw on the floor. Since when does human rights tell you you got to be comfortable? The floor is plenty enough, right? So we have to give them a bed with a bed frame and a mattress, food and water, privacy. Yeah, you might say privacy. Yeah, they have some privacy between the two of them in the cell, right? We have to give them safety. We have to give them everything that a human needs and more, right? In addition to giving them access to a library so they can quote the shit out of us. Really? What? I'm so mean. Library. What do you need a book for? Are you bored because you're in jail? Well, should have thought of that. Oh my God, I'm so unforgiving. Sorry, that is one of my biggest red flags. Is I'm very quite unforgiving. I am nice until I'm not. That's very true. I'm not gonna deny that. That's true. I'm not nice when I'm not nice. That's very true. Is she talking about the gold again? Oh, okay. So this gold goes to the jury. All right, gold, jury, you got a gold. Goes out to the jury for not understanding my crime. No, the jury is even unscathed. Jury for not understanding my cracks, from being blinded from the injustice and malpractice of all the dictionary and pre-curricular errors, and to run apparent violation of my constitutional rights during my case in the entire trial, which caused mass confusion and dysfunction. Listen. My brain wants to disconnect again. So you know what? I'm going to listen to it. I'll take a small pause and, all right. You know, the foundation of my bad day, it has to do with the fact that it cannot be ignored. We would have to sit together and strategize and make a plan. And that takes energy and brain cells. And I work too much. I think too hard. I think too much. The last thing I need is to think some more. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'll tell you in the Let's Talk the story where I got sued last year. Oh, what? I did. I got sued. My company got sued. Hold on. I'll tell you the story. I'll speak in riddles. But just to give you an idea and hopefully to inspire people, people don't sue. People are afraid to sue. People are afraid of the law because it sounds so intimidating. And it is. You just get a lawyer. Oh my God, I don't have the money for it. I understand. That's why you have a job. I get it. Lawyer it's not cheap or free. That's why you have a job. And that's why the best time to prepare for bad times is during the good times. So when life is good, this is when you gotta store your grains, darling, and put it in the cellar. So when winter comes, you can chillax and relax, okay? I'll tell you the story about it. I'll speak as much riddle as I can, but I didn't lose. Of course not. I got too much. I got a kid. I got too much to lose. You see, for me, these fights like this is life and death. Even though it's not, in my mind, it's life and death because I got someone over there who needs me. Someone over there who needs this. So don't come over here and think you're going to just go walk out. And hopefully, I don't know who's going to watch this, but if you ever get threatened, intimidated, don't be afraid to take it to the legal. Don't be afraid. Because that's how people learn to think twice before they move. And now they will. Anyway. Oh, it was big. Oh, it was so big. That's what he said. No, anyway. All right, can we continue? All right. Where are we? From this and their brash, misguided, corrupted decision, I was wrongfully judged and murdered. I said and murdered, sorry. Wrongfully judged a murderer. Instead of a survivor. For this, all is forgiven. For this, I can still survive and stand tall, having an even greater the greatest opportunity to finally be understand in the Supreme Court of my appeals. Oh, she's really going to the appeal. I'm assuming it's going to be denied. I don't really see anything that Judge Crenna did wrong. Like, that's how an appeal is, when you say you were someone somewhere did a mistake. I don't see it. I'm not even that smart, and I don't see anything. And no, I don't have to Google that up. I'm sure that it got denied, right? Let me know in the comment. It got denied, right? Easier to figure this out. Anyway, in the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner. Oh, she read that. Oh, thank God. Can we fast forward? Oh, yes, we can fast forward. Wait. Oh, thank God. Oh, we're done. Yeah, she said this last part. She said it during the sentencing. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. All right, let's go to my final thought. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I was starting to literally brain fry. Ugh. This is an attempt for her to thrash. THRASH, darling. Thrash. Because she's flailing. She doesn't know what to do. And this letter writing thing is because she has no one to talk to. She doesn't have family members to advise her on something. This whole saga of letter writing tells me something deeper. I'll tell you what it is. The first one is she's forced to be sober, so she's forced to listen to her demons in her mind. 1. 2, she's forced to face the reality that her son don't like her. Her son is not interested. Her son doesn't want nothing to do with her. And that reality, regardless of not if you're a narcissist or psychopath or sociopath, the idea that you're being rejected or nobody cares about your feelings and who you is, for those monsters' point of view, is a big deal. So she's faced with that reality. And that's why George Torres' mother said, you took my son, but you will never get yours because I still get a piece of him every day. Right? So she has to live with that reality. Third, she has to live with the reality that everybody's public opinion is being confirmed by the conviction, and she had to face those people to the face. Like us, the cameras, the media. She's trying to change this image, and it's not going to work. And the appeal was denied. So right now, today, she's probably like, oh my God, nobody loves me. That's right, nobody loves you. Nobody wants you. Nobody's interested, right? And that's important. That's important to point out. Because in her desperation to create a narrative, in a desperation to gather sympathy, empathy, to go back to her cell and be like, oh, you see, to tell her stupid friends over there, the other criminals, yeah, great. Oh my God, criminals, come and gather around. I really, really did my best. And, Judge Crenna was like black throat disease and so impartial. And the jury was like, she make a whole story so she can look a certain kind of way for her new life over there. And lastly, disappointed in herself. Why? Because she believes herself to be smarter than this. She can't believe she didn't pull this off. So there is a spiraling out of controlness that's going on within her emotions. It would eventually come down because she's going to go to prison. She's going to spin that story to those other idiots, and they're going to be like, yeah, Sarah, oh my God, you're so right. Oh my God, you're so correct. Oh my God, I know, Sarah was done wrong. Sarah, oh, I know, and you love him. People who will make excuses for bad behavior. I'm telling you, most criminals will make an excuse for bad behavior. There are plenty over there. You go to jail or prison, whatever, they're everywhere. All those criminals, they make excuses for bad behavior. They're over there. So they will go gather around together in a narcissism and make excuses for their bad behavior. And then she'll be like, yeah, and then I know you killed your mother, but like, oh my God, your mom was such a loud mouth. Like, oh, I know, Sarah, thank you so much. And George beat you so much. And like, oh my God, thank you, Sarah. Nobody said that to me during the trial. And my judge was also so partial. Oh my God, you girls, I know. And my judge was like, was what? A woman. And what? And, racist. No, really? Yeah, she didn't like me because I was black. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's terrible. I know. Oh, girl hug. Please. Monsters, no excuse for bad behavior. Matter of fact, And I've said this before, and I say it again. If my daughter becomes a hard criminal, I will take these pictures. I will frame them in big. I'm not visiting that. I'm not visiting. Harsh, you think? Not at all. I don't condone and make excuses for bad behavior. I'll be disappointed. I will still be obsessed and love her. I'll be very sad, but I want no parts of it. Come on. Come on. Anyway, let's go to my, let's talk. Oh my God. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I didn't even do anything. I don't know. Oh my God, I did a lot today. I did a lot. Go. Hi, welcome to the Let's Talk, where I take off my jacket and talk to you a little bit more. It's hot. I am sweating. Oh, like and subscribe. I am sweating like a whore. Oh. I think that Christopher's going to get the baby soon. Oh, I'm sweating like a whore. Good BO though. I have great BO. You know what Christopher said to me? Because first of all, I love how my man smells. But Christopher was like, oh, you smell like a man. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Anyway, listen. Where do I start my day today? I start very quickly. Because Let's Talk will be short. I got to go and strategize for battle. My father's situation, oh, he might be like, oh my God, this guy again and his dad. Hi, Eleni, hi. Here's the thing. The stuff with my dad, you guys know about the divorce situation. You guys know all that. But what you guys don't know is that during the divorce proceeding, and I told you many times, my parents didn't have a prenup. And my mom outsmarted my father by doing her operations under our names. She didn't do it under her names. So when it was time to devise the asset, the forensic accountant was like, wait a minute. This is not hers. She's just the agent. And she hasn't drawn a salary since 1990, whatever, right? She's like, there's nothing you can touch. You cannot touch any of that. It's not hers. And he was like, what? Started crying. A grown-ass man with gray hair and a horrible attitude, nasty, disgusting filth, crying all over the courtroom about how she stole from me, she did me wrong. And the court was like, first of all, get it together, okay? Lawyer, take your client over there and let him dry his tears. This time in the back to dry his tears, he came back out like a small little shriveled peanut raisin, dehydrated. And then he goes, so he got nothing. We divided his stuff because he's an idiot, but my mom was smarter than him, right? So he's mad. He's mad. So what he did is he released massive lawsuits across the globe. I'm going to say that across the globe. Now, here is the irritating thing, right? In Europe, easy. Property rights is pretty ironclad. Divorce situation is very easy. Send the divorce papers. We can put a stop to that. Easy. But Africa is corrupted as F. And you know, you have a lot of people who are like, oh my God, Africa is actually not what it is. Oh my God, Africa is so developed. Africa is so advanced. Africa is so this, so that. Listen, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it as that. And you can be offended if you want. And if you happen to be watching me from Africa, you don't know what I know, period. Okay? And if you're looking at things from a consumer point of view, you're at the bottom of the Twitter poll. You don't know anything. You're just a consumer. So go and consume. When you move up the ladder by just one grade, the world is quite very different. And so when these people who are like, Africa is actually quite advanced, and like, look at this, you have no idea. Infrastructure is shit. There's complete chaos when it comes to the tax system. Corruption is rampant. You can't progress in any way, shape, or form. Oh, they come on and tell you, yeah, start a business. You can't start anything unless you involve the bribery when it comes to the government. Oh, what about Nigeria? Listen. You don't know what I know. Period. If you're a simple consumer, you don't know what I know. It's not even for debate. So I'm telling you that when you have a situation with my father, right, with all the money in the world, buying this judges, and now we have the government after us, what are we going to do? Like, what do you do if the U.S. government comes in and takes you home? What are you going to do? Take it to court, right? Because there's a system and process in place to protect your asset. If you're in Africa and the government says, I'm taking this house, what are you going to do? Take them to court? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. So now we have to deal with the stupidity of my father, but we have to deal with the stupidity of the governments. And let me tell you something, it's not looking good for us, but we're going to try. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. There's no other option. There's no other option. And they look at stuff and they go, oh, ooh, maybe I can take that. Oh, I can take that. Oh, wow. And then they look at, who owns what. Oh, well, they don't need that, so we'll take that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, is that her house? Yeah. Okay, we'll take that too. Yeah. And it's transcended to the assets of my grandmother. I'll put in the editing. These are my grandparents on my mother's side. This is the father and the mother of my mom. And I think I've told you, the entrepreneur in my family is my mom. But it's not because, no, she comes from a family of, right? So, in Cameroon, when my grandmother was grandma, women didn't own anything. Women were properties. I want you to process that for a second. If you were a woman married to your husband and your husband died, you and your kids go to the next in line in kin. You could end up your brother's wife, your brother-in-law's wife. Even if you had a wife already, you go over there. And the mentality was, and still is today, women are not seen as like, it's just property. Sex objects, because you know how it works, right? Yeah. Oh, look, a woman. You know exactly what happens 90% of the time. Yeah. So, my grandfather was the only one in his generation. Only one. I used to say to my mom, like, Mom, you're exaggerating. She's like, no. He was the only male in the generation who had one wife. The only one. And it was arranged. But it was arranged in a particular way. So a lot of the marriages were arranged between families. But my grandfather, my grandmother was with her sisters, just at the village. And he was like, "You're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous. And my grandmother, because men were not seen as positive. So it was like, it was a given that you'll be given to a man somewhere and tortured, abused, and deal with it, bear children, at a very young age. So it wasn't like a secret. And so my grandmother was like, no. And my grandfather was like, okay, I know what the times are. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not that man. This is like, I think he was 19. And my grandmother was like, what, 15? These are kids, children, right? What do they know? But that's the time. Anyway, my grandfather, because the village, you have to follow a separate order. Oh, yeah. My grandfather, because my grandmother was supposed to be given off. Given off to some other old-ass man. And my grandfather didn't want that. So, at night, like a movie, it's a true story. At nighttime, he went into a hut. It was a village. It was a hut. He went into a hut. And of course, she was not happy about it. My great-grandmother, her mother, kind of went crazy. Like she just like, oh my God. I don't know what the reasons are, right? But she had psychosis, so she was not thinking straight. And so he went to the hut, and he's like, let's go. My grandmother was like, where are we going? He's like, I don't know. We'll go to the city. Let's go. 2 young kids, 19 and 15. Grabbed the girl that he liked. Walked. Didn't take the bus. Didn't have money. Walked to the city. You see what I come from? That kind of legacy. Just give you an idea. There's a lot of people above me that happened before I came into this world. And when he arrived to the city, it wasn't like he had a place to stay. They were homeless. And she was like, what the hell? Like, I was like, what's going on? What's happening? To the point where she was rationalizing, well, at least I wouldn't be homeless. And he's like, no. I would do my best. No. I would do my best. And from this day on, they became a team. And I think that's the reason why my grandmother became the powerhouse that she became. Because they came up from literally the poverty of ancient town Cameroon, right? And the way they found their plot of land, they went on the outskirts of the city. There's no papers. They said, all right, there's no one here. And they built this small little hut, 19, 15 years old. Uneducated, by the way. No school. They built their little stuff. And they went every day and hustled. And that small little hut evolved to become something. Right? But in the process of doing that, because at the time women were not allowed to own anything. Okay? So they were property. So the entrepreneur in my grandparents' situation was not my grandfather. It was my grandmother. Because she had the ideas. And legally, she couldn't own anything. So everything had to be done under my grandfather's name. And because they lived in an environment where, like, we need money, we're in the city, you can't just whatever. Her first business was sew. She didn't know how to sew. She made her first dress. Do you want it? Sure, $5, right? That's how it started. That's how it started, her first little enterprise. And as their plot grew, there was a store of selling clothes over there. And eventually, slowly but surely, it got to a point where even though my grandmother was home, but she was able to be home and be productive. So people came to the store. While my grandfather went over there and did odd jobs to bring back some money. And together, it grew. And then she got pregnant. They were young, 15, and she got pregnant. I don't know what age she got pregnant. And she got pregnant. And, it didn't stop them to hustle, but the pressure of living in the city at a very young age and having the pressure of the family back home, because nobody knew where they were. People thought that, he took my daughter and disappeared, right? Eventually, at some point, there was a reconnection at some point, and it was a big calamitous thing because, like, well, your marriage is null and void. That didn't happen. It was a whole bunch of nastiness and BS, right? But my grandmother eventually moved up in her entrepreneurial enterprise to become something. And now that's the work that my father went on. It has not related at all to the divorce, but the government now is looking at the work of my grandmother and going, oh, this is hers? Oh, this is hard work. Stolen from us. Stolen. So, it's upsetting. My mom was crying today. It's not, it's a legacy that my grandparents wanted to make sure that their kids, right? Because I have like 11 uncles and aunts. My grandmother was popping those babies out, darling. She was pretty. Yeah, I can totally see why grandma was like, come here, baby. She was just like, no, stop. Just pushing those baby out like this eggs heist. She's just popping those kids like eggs, like it was nobody's business, okay? Yeah, and I remember very well when I came of age, I'll put it like that. And when I saw the paperwork, it was very clear. It was very clear in the situation that all of this it's not even it's not even mine. It's specific. It's for a specific purpose. In regards to any family member who find themselves stuck in Cameroon, right? So it's put in a way that if ever the world collapses, and I have no other option in my life, because they kill the gays there too. So this is really if I have no option, I can take refuge in what my grandmother created. And that's what it was for. It's designed like that. It's not meant to be passed down. It's meant to be frozen in time. And they are carving it out, frozen in time, that even if society collapses, there's where you can farm, there's where the water is, it was meticulously thought, because my grandfather told my grandmother, he's like, I love you, and I don't want to be in the way of your growth. You want to work, baby. I don't need another wife. You are all I need. This is unheard of in men of his time. And he said, my daughters will never be subject to a man's rule. So they got together and planned things like that. Anyway, I don't know how we're going to do this. It's the government. It's government. They come in, and it's not like the U.S. The U.S. cannot do that, without proper compensation. But the only safety we have is a lot of it is hidden in a particular way. But, my father knew where a lot of it was, because he was married to my mom. Anyway, it's okay. I just wish it was just already. No, honestly, people are like, oh my God. No, the day when my father goes is a day where we will all celebrate. I have a bottle of champagne, a very expensive champagne. When we get the news and the phone call, we're going to celebrate hard. Party. Matter of fact, I've already planned it. So, yes, you think I'm crazy? Not at all. Forgiveness and like, oh, you must forgive, is for you? Not at all. This idea like you must forgive and all that stuff, all of the semantics, it depends on the individual. That's what my therapist said. So I don't need to conform to what the internet says, like forgiveness is for you. No. Sometimes forgiveness is not merited. Okay? Sometimes you disappearing forever is the only solution I need and I want. Okay? So, the plan is when he croaks, vacation. All my siblings, all of us, you watch the kid, no children. All my brothers and sisters and my mother, we're going on a week vacation. Planned. That's right. The champagne is for real homemade. We all have the same bottle of champagne stored in the fridge. Vacation for a whole week. And we're going to celebrate a true disconnect and freedom, right? And for those who think like, oh my God, like this is what it's like when you get tortured by a narcissist. This is the trauma. It's like, nobody wants you. Nobody is interested. You might as well just jump off the bridge. You just jump off the bridge. Honestly, the amount of trauma and damage you do, nobody really cares that much. Maybe your plant or your dogs. That's it. Well, mostly humans are not interested. Anyway, what time is it? Okay, I'll tell you quickly about my lawsuit last year. So, I'm running my own business. And, I know I may seem aloof, but I'm not aloof. I'm extremely organized. And I'm not a micromanager. I'm an overseer. I know everything that happens in my operation. Every little thing. From the appointment with the inspector, from the appointment with the department of whatever the government, from when I don't need a schedule like that. It's all in here. And the times. Okay. So I get an email. And this is a really odd email. And I get the email and I look at it and I go, that's audio from a law firm. And it's like the whole, you've been served, but please, I'm not an idiot. You don't serve people like that. So I look at it and I go, what is this? And it was an email. It was attached in the email. So it was a law firm contacted me. Attached in the email is the official government complaint. So a company complained about my company for a breach of contract. And they requested the government, the state where I live in, to seize my bank accounts. So the law firm be sending me the emails like, okay, well, disregard that. But the legal the government complaint was a real thing. Because I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I went to the government website and I put in the information and I was like, oh my God, it's there. But wait a minute. How is it there? Like, where is the due diligence from the government side? Okay. So I look at it and I go, okay. I said to Christopher, I remember it was at nighttime and I go, okay, Chris, we have a problem on our hands. And he was playing games and watching some cartoon on TV. He goes, what? I said, we have a legal problems on our hands. And Chris stops everything. He's like, what happened? I said, there is this company, and here's all the information of the company, like the legit information of the company with the EIN number. EIN number. Yeah. And the name and the contact, legit company. And they are claiming there's a breach of contract. So I'm thinking, oh my God, who is this that I did business with? So I go back to here and I save every piece of paper. Okay, everything is organized. I look at the date and I go to my folder. I'm like, okay, date. And I go, okay, I don't know what's going on. Who are they talking about? I don't see any of this. So I don't see the copy of the contract. So I panic. I go, oh my God, Alistair, you did not file this? Oh my God, what happened? I thought I did a mistake. So I go, oh my God, Christopher, I think I did a mistake. So I go, okay. I didn't call the lawyer yet because I thought I was in the wrong. So it was nighttime. I go, okay, I'm going to sleep on this. I didn't sleep. It was serious because they were asking, oh God. So they wanted to freeze our accounts and they were requesting as punitive damage like $50,000 right off the bat. And then they wanted in the apparent contract that my company was going to give them like accruable interest at a 7% rate per year in perpetuity. It was weird, but I was like, how could I agree to this? Wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. I cannot be that much of an idiot. I was like, what happened? And I was trying to go back downstairs and look at the contract, be like, where is it? And I was panicking because when you do the math, it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. I was like, what? And they were asking the government to seize my accounts and take my assets. Like, get my money. You could do that. It's like, whatever. So I go, okay. So I'm thinking, and then go to bed. I'm thinking, okay. I woke up in the morning. I look at the clock because the law firm is not open yet. The law firm is not open because I was like, lawyers need to know. So there's no way around that. I got to call a lawyer. But I'm trying to call this company because they must have records, right? Like, and, we're all pretending everything's okay. Have a good day at work, darling. Have a good day at work. But me and Chris were both like, what? Stress as fuck. And, we're pretty insulated here in terms of the infrastructure around our financials. But, honey, you can still get something. I was like, oh, my God, no, I need this. So, what? Oh, right, okay. So I look at the time. Okay, it's 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Okay, perfect. Okay. I get the phone. Hi. Is this, because I have the information from the government website of the plaintiff, the complaint. Is this so? He's like, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, great. So my name is Alistair, and, I got this weird email from a law firm. I'm assuming it's your law firm, and attached is an official complaint with the state in regards to us doing business together. He goes, you know what? I'm like, there's 5 owners. I'm not in charge of the contract and legalese and all that stuff, right? So I'm just in charge of the day-to-day operation, like on site. And I go, okay, well, who can I talk that's in charge of XYZ? And then the guy on the phone was like, you sound fishy. Who are you? And I'm like, well, I'm Alistair, and here's my company. Go ahead, check it out. And I repeat to the person, is that your EIN number? Because then I'm like, okay, so inappropriate. But listen, that's not me. This information was sent to me. So you breached that confidentiality. I can say it. But anyway. So I go, here's the EIN number. Is that you? He's like, yeah, that's us. It's like, all right, well, we have a legal problem together. I think you're about to sue me, but I want to know why. Why? Like, what's going on? Can I get a copy of this contract? And then he's like, no, you're a fake. I don't know how you got my EIN number. I don't know who you is. You sound like a fake. Blah, 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 blah. You're a fake. Click, hang up on my face. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, okay, he wants to play hardball. All right, no problem. So I call Christopher. You know, we're a couple, so we have to bounce off ideas, and usually to make sure that I'm not overreacting, because I can go to 0 to 1,000 in a nanosecond. And I was like, okay, perfect. I called Chris. I said, okay, look, this is what happened. I'm calling the lawyer. Chris is like, okay, go for it. Got it. So, hello. Okay, I said, okay, listen, Leonard, that's his name. Listen, Leonard, so we have a big problem here, all right? So there's a few things that my brain tells me it's a scam, but my other brain tells me it's not a scam because there's an official complaint to the state, and they're trying to seize our accounts. He's like, okay. I said, okay, well, I'll forward you all the information, open it up. He's like, okay, I see. I said, okay, so what's going on? So Leonard told me that, well, the first step is to see if this is legit, a copy of the contract. I said, I don't even remember this company. I don't know the company name. I don't even know how I'm even on their radar. I don't understand. I was like, I don't know who this is. I must have had amnesia or hit my head. I don't know who this is. But the fact that they have some of my personal information means that I must have come in contact with them. Right? Right, Leonard? Right? He's like, yeah, that's kind of odd that they have that information. But then Leonard said, but it could be that they got the information from the state side. I said, excuse me? What? No, can't be. He's like, yeah, can be, but it could be. We'll investigate. So it reassured me, because at that moment, it's above my head. And I got someone on my pay grade who's going to go ahead and do half the work for me. Because at that point, he doesn't want to talk to me. The person has no reason. So in that case, I guess we're full-blown going to trial. Like, in my mind, I was like, Leonard, call me when you get something. So I took it off my mind. Leonard calls me.
She wanted to see you.
Oh, yeah, come here. Viens, ma chérie. Allô, mon bébé. Ah! Viens. Il y a beaucoup de choses qui se passent ici. Attention à tes pieds. Viens me dire bonjour.
There's a big stain here.
It's from the chair, my love. Oh. C'est qui ça? Oh là là, Olympia, tu dis bonjour. Bonjour. C'est qu'est-ce que papa y fait? Papa y fait un record. Olympia, compte. Dis à tout le monde comment compter. On peut compter jusqu'à 20. On y va. 1, 2.
She's being shy.
Oh! Et tu me fais un petit bisou? C'est qui ça là-bas?
Nadia.
Ah bon? Ah bon? Et c'est qui là tout en bas là? Oui? Mais à côté de Olympia, c'est qui? C'est qui le monsieur là? Le monsieur noir? C'est qui?
Papa.
Oui, bien sûr. I said the black guy. Who's the black guy?
You back. You back and shit too.
Oh, did you hear what she just said?
Mm-hmm. Repeating after you.
Papa, Papa,
Oui.
did you go to bed here?
Comment ça?
They go to bed.
Oui. Comment on dit ça en français? Dis-le en français, ma chérie.
Hey.
She said Lily. She's saying her, she's on the bed. You see that? And I said, how do you say that in French? She said, le lit. C'est vrai, c'est le lit.
Look.
Et c'est quoi le nom de son truc là? C'est quoi son nom?
Bigger.
Ah bon? Et son
Papa, Papa, look.
Ouais, et c'est quelle couleur ce truc? C'est quelle couleur?
How?
Orange. Bravo! Allez, on compte. Allez, compte. Après, je dis, on va. Dis 1, 2, compte. 3,
What?
4, 5, 6. Oh là là. Ça va, Christopher?
Merci.
Merci. Comment on dit en français? C'est qui? You okay?
Papa. That's you.
Your energy. C'est moi.
Papa.
C'est moi. Your energy. is-
And Daddy too.
Et ouais, Daddy aussi.
Papa? Dinner.
Or a pizza?
Okay.
Honnêtement, tu veux manger de la pizza? Ah, manger de la pizza?
Of course she's gonna say
Oui, la jolie fille. Ok, tu montes en haut. Oh, désolé. Ça va tes fesses?
Yeah.
Olympia, can you pick that up and put that on the chessboard?
Oh. I picked this up first.
Put it over here next
Like,
to the other
when
one.
I picked it.
Thank you. Okay, let's go upstairs while Papa's working, okay?
And put it here.
Ok.
Thank you. Okay, come.
Oh, merci, ma chérie. Je te vois dans bientôt, ok?
Come.
Comment on dit en français?
He's gonna come soon. Viens ici.
That was unexpected. They just got back home. You see, this is what I mean where my girl is number one. Like the whole world stops. If I don't get things done by 4:30 p.m., forget it. Forget it. Oh, she's so cute. She gets so coy in front of the camera. Listen, don't be fooled. She's lovely. She's attached to me in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry. In a early morning, because I've been oversleeping lately. But right now at nighttime, I'm on duty because she wants to hang out with me all the time. She's like, Papa, 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 and I don't mind. I'm like, yeah, let's hang out. Where was I in my story? That's it. But the moral of the story: don't be afraid. If someone crosses a line with you, don't be afraid to say, excuse me, step back, get away from me. Don't be afraid. Because that's how they know not to cross that line. They could be friends. Listen, just because I tell you, don't talk like that to me, doesn't mean I don't like you. I just give you a warning. Don't talk like that to me. Or like, when you do that, I don't like it when you do that. Oh, okay, sorry about that. It's okay. Apology accepted. Yeah, you do it like that. You know? Or when your friends are like, or, you know, let's say you're all like, you're recovering from a hangover and your friends are like, oh my God, I'll stare. You know, the last time I told you the story about when I almost got trafficked, my friend called me because I didn't involve him, but I told the story itself. And he was like, I'll stare. I don't want you to tell this story. I was like, why? I was in it. I didn't even put your name in it. He's like, yeah, but you know, you told people that we hung out a lot, so they could easily connect the dot. And I don't want to be associated with that. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Stop it. And I had a choice to make. Do I value the friendship enough to go two ways? I could say, well, F you. This is my story to tell. Click. Or do I love you enough to say, you're right. It's not worth it. I don't have to tell the story. I apologize. That's it. That's it. And I value his friendship enough to say, all right, I won't tell the story. These are just stories. Like, I'm not going to ruin my friendship and my connections because I've told you a story. No, if someone I know doesn't want me a story to tell, it's okay. I don't have to say. I have nothing to prove to nobody. Please, I got a husband and a daughter. Actually, Christopher looks sad today. Like his face, his energy looked low. So maybe I'm going to be extra parent tonight and tomorrow. Maybe he needs more rest. She's laughing. She's calling for my name. Goodbye. I love you for watching.